In this video, we're going to be sharing what must be done with Charlotte Flair in WWE and why it may upset some of y'all. Charlotte Flair is on the road to WrestleMania after being sidelined for over a year, tearing her ACL, MCL, and meniscus in a December 2023 match with Asuka on an episode of Friday Night SmackDown. The Queen, the top girl, if you will, is back because in January, WWE started airing vignettes for Charlotte Flair. This had come after months of speculation of what WWE would do. Would they hold off on her return? Would they save it for the Royal Rumble? Would it be on a random episode of SmackDown? Maybe a PLE? What would they do with Charlotte Flair? Obviously, they announced ahead of time going into the Royal Rumble that Charlotte Flair would make her grand return by being one of the competitors in the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match, having the opportunity to go on to WrestleMania 41, challenging for a world championship. Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley? Maybe. NXT Champion Julia? Sure. How about Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton? All of which was on the opportunity table. Charlotte Flair, she's no person that's scared to go out on a limb, right? Change some things up. Heck, in 2020, she went after Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's title and won it, right? So her going to NXT, not out of the realm of possibility, but most people would think that she would be going after Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton, and all signs point to that. Now, before we get any further into this video, I got a favor to ask y'all. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button for more wrestling content. Now, let's get back to the video. It's no secret that Charlotte Flair is one of the most decorated women in WWE history, holding over 14 world championships across Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and then you got to count the Divas title, right? This is nothing new for Charlotte Flair. And I've seen a lot of talk, a lot of speculation, a lot of controversy about Charlotte Flair's Royal Rumble win. And I think that this narrative needs to really end. Because as good as Charlotte Flair is, there's always this stigma that despite the fact that WWE books her the way that they do, that she falls under the category that John Cena had done for so many years, that she only puts down other talents, that she doesn't get other talents over, and it's all about herself. So basically, if she works with someone, after she works with someone, that person just is never the same, or is not the same for, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8 months at a time. I don't believe that. I think this idea that it's all about the Charlotte Flair story, in a lot of ways, for years and years and years under Vince McMahon, it was always, well, what's John Cena doing next? Or what's Roman Reigns doing next? Everyone else is not as important as Charlotte Flair. And I think that stigma has followed Charlotte Flair and in the women's division of like, well, what is Charlotte Flair doing? And then everyone else, we will figure that out. And I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but Vince McMahon is no longer in charge of WWE Creative. He's just not. It's a Triple H show. That's what he's doing. Congratulations. Welcome to the show. The fact is, Charlotte Flair is one of the biggest names that WWE has under contract. It's not even just in the women's division. It's in the entire company. So if they want to book her as a top star in a top match at WrestleMania, there's a good reason why. I would also point to this. Tiffany Stratton is going to be around and is going to be a main eventer for WWE for the next 10 to 15 years. Okay? Her working with Charlotte Flair in a women's championship match at WrestleMania is not hurting her. She is the champion going into it. She has been pushed and pushed and pushed since making her official main roster debut in 2024. Okay? She's held a Money in the Bank contract. She cashed in that contract successfully, winning the championship, beating Nia Jax. She's going to beat Nia Jax at Elimination Chamber. Okay? And yeah, she's going to go in there and she's going to lose to Charlotte Flair, but it's not because of Charlotte Flair. And it's not a knock that Tiffany Stratton couldn't beat Charlotte Flair on her redemption story, on her redemption tour, right? She's going to get better from this. She's going to get a star rub. She's going to be a bigger name coming out of WrestleMania than she went into it. It's only going to help her. It's no different from Becky Lynch and their infamous 2018 feud, right? It got the fans so pissed off that they rallied behind Becky Lynch. It's no different from Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley was not this megastar before she walked into the 2023 Royal Rumble and then beat Charlotte Flair for the women's title at WrestleMania 39. It was Charlotte Flair that made Rhea Ripley who she was on the main roster. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Let's run down some of Charlotte Flair's accolades, should we? So Charlotte Flair debuted in NXT in 2013, quickly establishing herself as a dominant force. She won the NXT Women's Championship in 2014, holding it for an impressive 258 days. On the main roster, she won the Divas Championship in 2015, becoming the final holder of the title before it was retired. She is a record 6-time Raw Women's Champion, winning the inaugural championship at WrestleMania 32 in 2016. How about the SmackDown Women's Championship? Well, she's a record 7-time SmackDown Women's Champion, further solidifying her dominance across both brands. She's also held the Women's Tag Team titles once, doing so with Asuka. She's a Royal Rumble winner. Charlotte Flair won the Women's Royal Rumble match twice, once in 2020 and obviously in 2025. She also became the very first woman to ever do that. She's a Triple Crown Grand Slam champion, having won all 4 of the major women's championships in WWE. She can also hold the fact that she has main evented WrestleMania, including the first ever women's WrestleMania main event, WrestleMania 35, 2019, and doing so with Ronda Rousey and Becky Lynch. She's also had some memorable feuds with top female stars, including Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Ronda Rousey, and Asuka. Her matches against Sasha Banks in particular are considered classics and have helped her elevate women's wrestling in WWE. So keep that in mind. Charlotte Flair is a true icon in women's wrestling with a remarkable record of championships and accomplishments. She's played a significant role in the evolution of women's wrestling in WWE and continues to be a top star in the company. With all that being said, yeah, Charlotte Flair, she's going to go down as the women's GOAT, right? She's known for her confidence, arrogant persona, often portraying a queen or the queen of WWE gimmick. She's also a skilled in-ring performer with a wide range of moves, including her signature figure 8 leg lock. Yeah, that's what Charlotte Flair does. Charlotte Flair will go on. She will beat Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Make no mistake about it. It's going to happen. But she's going to elevate Tiffany Stratton. She's going to make Tiffany Stratton a lot better than she is now.